virtual world, watching my little Lulu chew up her dog bed. And I'm going to give her a bone she can chew on. She may not want to. So, Teresa Phelps Martin in the Soulfully You virtual world, coming to you live in this moment with a theme or an intention called making peace. I am currently recording this as we're in a moon that is void, of course, which that means is that as our Earth spins on an axis, okay, and it takes 365 days to navigate a full circle around the sun. And as it navigates that full circle around the sun, it travels through the sky. And as it travels through the sky, it travels through and visits different areas. The sun is actually moving too. I don't want to get too complicated. However, the moon moves very quickly. It will travel around the Earth in like 27.8 days, roughly. It could be 28 days as well. And in that journey, it takes 13 cycles of that to go around the entire year. So the moon moves much more quickly. And when the moon moves, it travels through each zodiacal sign or archetype, if that's an easier language to embrace. A different version of yourself that is ready to animate and express itself. And because there are other objects in the sky that are also spinning and cycling, some of them incredibly slow, like Eris or Pluto, and some of them incredibly fast, like the moon and Mercury. And this all has to do with the relationship to Earth and the sun. And relationship becomes really, really important to understand that you're going to be in relationship with different things and different items. I'm in relationship with this virtual space right now, and I'm hanging out with my dog, Lulu. Coming from a different relationship of being a mom and a wife and showing up in a dialogue about parenting during pandemic, okay? So in all of those relationships, when we understand the relationship of the moon, there are times when it's actually best not to be in conversation. Now, none of us live that way, right? Unless we can actually have a pause and have a moment to become more present in holding space for ourselves, in being able to regulate, in being able to have presence. And so it's not so much about perfection. And there's a lovely friend and therapist, Shelley Soul, who just did this presentation. So it's going to be hard for me not to share her wisdom and her nuggets. But it's not about perfection. And what she shared is that perfection is actually a form of self-harm. So in this idea of making peace and getting on our mat, it's not about every pose being this idea of ease. Peace is the idea of resolve. Have you thought about it that way? Peace is the idea not of stillness and calmness and lack of conflict, but of resolve. That if you can make peace, you can bring peace. And so as we're in this energy of the moon transitioning, without being in dialogue, it's really this time of resolve. It goes from a highly animated energy of Gemini or the lovers or the messengers to this energy of caretaker, of nurturer. And we know to take care because of emotions. Because of that need for something. You have hunger, you make food. You feel insecure, you find safety, okay? So in these, or you find security. So in this dance, as we're transitioning, and in that transition, it's a chance to have that pause. And I'm spending a little extra time on this void of course concept because I'll reveal it in the energetic signature, but in the month of October, there are like 8 or 9 days where we have a long period of time of void of course energy, which isn't very typical, okay? So if we can go in this idea of making peace, because then if we can make peace, if we can really be in relationship with ourselves, our inner world, and nurture it and care for it and tend to it, then what we do is we create a resolve within ourselves of who we are, validating ourselves, trusting in our ability, and then bringing that forward. And then you bring peace. So let's do it. We're going to start seated. Our elements are this idea of air, like initiatory air, which is relationship, okay? And it's integrating into that there is day and night, sun and moon, man and woman, awake, asleep, conscious, unconscious. But that's what's confusing because there's also the subconscious. Sitting or standing, active or passive, giving or receiving. So as we learn how to integrate those, we can actually discover the different ways we can engage. So sit in a way that's comfortable. And I confess, I know there are people who are live. I thank you for being live. I really appreciate you showing up. I did not wear my glasses, so I can't see you. And I just want to dive in. I don't want to spend any time talking. And in this live recording, even if you're watching the replay, because I know there are a number of you who watch it in the YouTube land or via the Facebook portal, that use this conversation as a chance to reflect on those times when your inner world is highly animating. Like I described, meditating for me is physically settling, but my mind is my own personal entertainment center, okay? I don't judge my mind being my own personal entertainment center. I actually respect the depth and the breadth in which it can explore while I can feel the process and the time of being present in this moment, okay? So you can just watch the pause that you give yourself as you're animated to breathing to then how are you going to care. So sit in a seat that is most comfortable for you. Either your eyes can be closed or you can just go inward. Bring just one hand onto your heart and one hand to touch the earth. Simply noticing just that little shift of one hand on the heart, one hand on the earth. Acknowledging that our time here as we go inward is for the highest good. That we are intentional. That we're not so much trying to win or be right, but rather be in relationship. To be in relationship with all the parts of ourselves. The parts that strive for perfection, like yours truly. The part of you that tries to make peace or keep the peace. And the part of you that's completely lost along the journey, because they're all there because we're human. And then just coming to awareness of the breath, your inhale and your exhale. Where are you breathing? And what direction does your awareness go while you're breathing in and breathing out? And allowing for your shoulders to relax, your hips to get even heavier, and your spine to elongate. how can that peace emerge within you? What does that look like to you? What is the idea of peace? Or maybe the Sanskrit word shantaya, shanti. And how can you just engage in this very moment that allow for this emergence? Because when you think about it, it usually begins to rise with your breath of more of a peaceful, flowing inhale and exhale. How perhaps you're feeling conflict in the physical nature of things. Virtual yoga, sitting still. And how can you come back to your own breath? Your own heart, even all the way down into your hips. Whichever hand is touching the earth, allow that hand to rise up and rest over the other hand on your heart. Affirming and reconnecting to the energy of you, and that you're here to care, to nourish, to tend to respect. And then allow yourself to have an intention, a reason for being here, your own personal one. It doesn't even have anything to do with making peace, but something that's going to help you regulate because you showed up. Is that going to allow you to remember and reconnect and reclaim? Whatever that may be, with your next inhale, at the top of the inhale, pause and just call that intention in. What does it feel like? What does it look like? And then as you exhale, just soften, letting go of the attachment, the expectation of perfection, and then inhaling in again. Just pausing so that you can call in, and if pausing with the breath is too much, just continue to breathe. And then exhaling all the way out. And just one more time, inhaling in. And exhaling all the way out. Allow your head to bow down. Allow the palms to turn up. And that energy you've held in your heart and your hands, when you open your eyes, allow your mind to receive, to really integrate the wholeness of this simple little moment. And as your eyes open, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. We're going to feel the rhythm of the breath. And so we're just going to feel movement. When we are at this point of feeling the nurturing, challenged by our mental space, we can allow it to motivate us. How can our mind and our hearts, how can our souls and our ability to witness come together? I'm stretching back, toes are tucked, hands are stretched out, lift into the belly, stretch the tail towards your heels, relax the neck and jaw, and then inhale, open the heart out, exhale, round the back, inhale, open the heart out, tuck the toes, exhale, round the back, untuck. Inhale, opening. We're going to be repeating things today. Exhale, rounding. So we can find that rhythm. Inhale, opening. Exhale. exhale, rounding. Inhale, come into a nice neutral spine. Left leg's gonna stretch back. Pivot the heel to the ground. Inhale, the left arm by your ear. And then exhale, left hand down, left knee down. Inhale, toes top, open the heart. Exhale, round the back. Inhale to a neutral spine. Right leg stretches out, pivot the heel. Inhale, the right arm by your ear. And then exhale, right hand grounds. Round the back, chin to your chest. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale into a neutral spine. We're gonna shift to the left again. Pivot the heel, stretch the arm by your ear. Full gracious breath in. Exhale, the hand to the earth, knee to the ground, round the back, chin to your chest. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, neutral spine. Right leg stretches, right arm reaches. Full breath in. Full breath out. Hand to the ground, knee to the ground. Feeling the cat-cow that resonates for you. So as we do this final round, I want you just to feel your rhythm, your breath, right? Pretty much the inhale opens you, the exhale settles you, and that you can feel that connection to your own breath breathing with you. And we'll go to the right side, or the right arm comes up to stretch the right side body one last time. Hands down, I'm gonna round. Inhale, open the heart. This time as you exhale, move all the way back, downward dog. Connect the hands to the earth, feel your feet on the ground. Stay strong into your core. And then walk, little steps. Feel the earth rising up to you, just so soft, so kind, each step of the way. Sometimes we forget to lean into this great support system that's ever present. Feet ground down. Inhale, find length. And it's because we're human. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find length. Now, as you're here, okay, here's the trick. We'll do this one more time. As you're in this part of the flow, this time we're going to exhale, bow. Can you make peace with what's gone on so far? Can you allow, maybe you're like me and you notice how easy it is to do on the yoga mat, but how difficult it is to do in real life. Push the feet into the ground. Inhale, roll the spine up. Hands are going to clasp behind you, shoulders drawn to the back. Open the heart, full breath in, and then free the hands, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Sit into that seat, then inhale, rise up. Hands clasp behind you. Heart opens, shoulders to the back, stay connected to the core. Breathe all the way in, and then exhale. Free the hands, sit into your seat. Inhale into that chair. Exhale, sit deeper. Inhale, rise. Hands clasp. Last time we'll clasp the hands. Open the heart. And then exhale, sit into the seat. Full breath in. This time you're going to exhale all the way down to the earth. 3 breaths here. So this is where we neutralize, right? We resolve. We did the chair and the heart opener. Now we can bow, we can surrender, we can create space to carry on. Exhale. And we integrate. Hands to the ground, step back, left foot, then the right foot. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Knees high or low, all the way to the earth. Arms are going to go wide. Inhale, lift up. So my hands are on the ground, my feet are lifting, and then lift the hands up off the earth. 3 breaths here. Inhale, feeling a lift. Exhale, softening. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, softening. Inhale, rising. Hands under your shoulders, feet ground. Inhale, upward dog or cobra is up to you. And then exhale, all the way back. Downward dog. Inhale, right leg's gonna lift. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip up. Inhale, square it off. Step the foot through to a lunge, pivot the back heel. Inhale, warrior 2. Press the feet to the ground. You're gonna inhale, just straighten the leg, really push into the floor. And then exhale, lunge. Going deeper if you want. Inhale, feeling engagement to your center. And then exhale. Tracking the knees straight ahead. Inhale, lifting, feet are heavy. Exhale, lunge. 3 breaths here. Feel the volume of this side. Honor this side. Breathe with it. And then exhale. Hands to the ground. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, plank. Exhale all the way to the earth. Hands go wide. So push through your fingers, elbows are lifting. They're like gecko arms. Legs lift, drawn to the core. Inhale the arms. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Hands under the shoulders, feet ground, cobra or upward dog. And exhale all the way back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, square it off. Step the foot through to a lunge. Pivot the heel to the ground. Inhale, warrior 2. So you feel the volume, the lift, and you adjust accordingly, right? And as you find that volume and that lift and you adjust accordingly, you're gonna feel the pulses. Inhale, the leg straightens, and exhale, soften. Right, so you feel the inhale lifting you, the exhale settling you. This time we lunge in, 3 breaths here. Exhale the hands all the way down to the earth. Downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. All the way to the ground. Hands go wide. Elbows are lifting, shoulders are drawing in. The legs lift. And then inhale, lifting up. Exhale, softening. So as you're lifting under the armpits and through the inner thighs. Keep the core engaged. Even as you exhale, hug the core and more soften. Inhale, rise up. Hands under your shoulders, feet ground down. Upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, step it through. Pivot the heels. Inhale, warrior 2. Legs straighten, so we're gonna add on this time. Exhale, pulse. Inhale, feeling that lift. Exhale, softening. Inhale, lifting. This time you're gonna exhale, elbow to the thigh, arm by your ear. 3 breaths here. Hand to the earth, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Hands go wide. Rise up. You can pulse or just stay lifted. 3 breaths. Shoulders are on the back. Back of the neck is long. Core is lifted. Exhale, hands under the shoulders. Shoulders roll back. Feet ground down. Upward dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. So, this is where we make peace. We acknowledge the fact the practice has emerged. We're moving, we're finding our rhythm, or we're aware of the lack of rhythm. Step it through, feet are grounded. Inhale, warrior 2. So feeling that lift. Exhale, dissolving. Each one, we feel the emergence, we're sustaining, and then we allow it to dissolve. That's the resolve. Elbow to your thighs, shoulders to your back. Stretch the spine long. And then hand to the earth, downward dog. Inhale, plank. exhale to the ground. Let the earth hold you. Arms go wide, elbows lift. Shoulders to your back. Inhale, lift. Okay, you can melt up and down. I'm choosing to stay up so that I can really be aware of the areas that are highly vulnerable in my body right now. And then exhale, hands under your shoulders, feet ground. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale back, downward dog. The last little hip opening flow. Leg lifts, knee bends, opening up. Exhale, step it through. Once you ground, press into the feet. Inhale, warrior two. Right, so find that connection. As you're straightening, just feel where are you weak? Is it in the mind because you're bored with this flow? Or is it just in the pulsing? Exhale, this time you're gonna inhale, straighten the leg, push the feet to the earth, triangle pose. If you would like to do another side angle pose, you can. Enjoying the breath and the discovery of you. Exhale, free the hand, step back, downward dog. I know so many plank chaturangas today. Sorry. Hands go wide. Draw in, shoulders are to the back, belly's lifting, legs are lifting, and then inhale, the arms lift. This is not a common stance in our bodies, so realize that. Each time we practice, we find comfort. Inhale, rising up with the heart, exhaling all the way back. Downward dog. Full gracious breath in, gracious breath out. Heels lift and walk the feet forward. Both beneath you, exhale, bow. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. Two more. Or last one, actually. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Feet ground down. Knees bend. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Rolling all the way up. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale the hands to your heart. Remember that first moment you placed a hand on your heart and another hand on the earth. Come back to just that experience of moving inward intentionally. What has happened between the mind and the body since you began? Has there been any big discovery or big surprise? And embrace. You're going to free your hands. Take the weight into the left foot. Inhale the right foot. You're either going to come into Vrikshasana, tree pose, and just feel that steadiness and balance, which is beautiful. Or grab hold of the pinky toe side of the right foot. Stretch the foot out to the side. Come into standing Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Some of us just live for the challenge, so be aware of that. 3 breaths. Yes, you're right. We're going to repeat this flow 3 times. Now, if you're in tree pose, beautiful. If you're in standing, hand to foot, release the foot, knee to the center. We're all going to reach back, find the foot, even out the pelvis. Notice how your right hip moves back, left hip. So make peace by bringing alignment to the lumbar and sacral. Shoulders to the back, choice. Both hands can hold on to the foot and you can kick the foot back, or one arm can stretch up by your ear. 3 breaths as you extend into your dancer pose. And then inhale, come all the way up. You're gonna release the foot behind you, so your legs are crisscross. Inhale the arms overhead, and then exhale, bow down into a sciatic stretch, 3 breaths. So you should feel little catawampas with your feet crisscrossed and out of alignment. It's not bad, it's just new. And in that newness, you'll have more appreciation. Unravel the feet, both feet underneath your hips. Exhale, bow. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. Feet ground down, arms go wide, shoulders to your back. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms overhead, hands come through the midline. Free your hands, weight goes into the right foot. Again, you can come into Vrikshasana, right? Tree pose. Or you can bend the knee, grab hold of the pinky toe side of the foot. Thighs are pulling back, foot stretches out to the side. Be in relationship with yourself, where you can find peace. It doesn't mean perfection. It means you can feel that steady ability of the effort that it takes to express yourself while remaining coherent of what you need to care for yourself. It's a rather sophisticated definition of making peace. And now come through the center. You're gonna release the foot, grab hold of it, pull back into the midline. So widen the elbows, narrow the thighs, so they pull to the center. Now you can fill up the back body, shoulders draw back in. Maybe the hand reaches back for the foot. Then you realign, and then you kick the foot back and expand. 3 breaths, that's all we're going for. Which seems like a lot sometimes. Free the foot, it frees behind you. Both feet to the ground, even though you're crisscross. Arms overhead, then hinge, fold forward. Bow all the way down. 3 connected breaths here. Exhale out completely. Push your feet into the ground. Uncross the legs. Anchor the weight, right? So you feel even weight into both feet. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow. Inhale, find length. Arms go wide. Draw the shoulders to the back. Rise all the way up. Arms sweep overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Find that center, the connection, the presence. So the flows emerge. Now we're just going to feel what inside of us is sustaining the flow. I just want you to be able to expand your perspective to be in a healthier dialogue with your inner world so you can really honor the parts that are being nourished. So maybe that means taking tree pose, or maybe just holding the knee, taking the knee out to the side and balancing. I'm going to come to tree pose personally, because I also know we have one more round. If you're holding the foot, bring the leg back to the center. You're going to free the right foot. Hold on to it. Shoulders drawn to the back. The arm bones are plugging in. Lots of connection to the core. The foot kicks back. 3 breaths. Dancer pose. Feeling that great dance of life. how much you may lack an ability to not fall over. But don't strive for perfection, rather engage with the relationship. Inhale, come up, both feet cross behind you, both arms overhead. Exhale. So come back to your center, right? What is your center right here, right now? What are you centering into? Unravel the feet, ground in, just release the whole experience, find length. Exhale, bow. Inhale, arms go wide, right? So you're coming through an elongated spine. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Left knee lifts, right? Maybe you're just holding to the knee, being in this expression of hand to foot pose. Or bring the foot to your upper inner thigh. If you had a strap, you could do the strap. I really want you to keep the connection here through your center. With that third breath, you'll bring the leg back through the center. Knee comes through. Bend the knee, find both feet. Feel the extension in the offering that is yours, and then bow. Inhale, rise up, foot crosses behind. Both arms lift overhead. Now, you can do the sciatic stretch this time, or you can embellish and come into a curtsy. In the curtsy, you're going to bow forward. 3 breaths, wherever you went, and then bring both feet underneath your hips. Exhale, bow. Inhale, find length. You know me, I'm going to always throw a curveball of some kind. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, hands to the heart. Last round. So how can you really find that as there's a repetition, which life is full of patterns and habits and repetition, what do you need to shift or come back to? Is this really, this is our final round. Tree pose or hand to foot pose? Oops, I got excited in the embellishment. That's all good. Inhale, arms overhead. That's sometimes a bad habit of mine is switching it up before it's time. So coming back to where you need to be. And with those 3 breaths, hand to the foot, opening through the heart, allowing and expanding. Inhale, come upright. Foot's going to cross behind, and I'm going to curtsy on this side because I went too soon on the other side. So curtsying here, or doing the sciatic stretch, right? Or introducing the curtsy this time. It's all up to you. You get to regulate your practice here. And then bring both feet under. Exhale, bow. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. Push the feet to the earth. Inhale, rise. All right, last flow, last cycle. Finding the expression, right? I started with a bigger pose. I had access to it. However, the residual, it created a lot of inner turmoil in this area that I'm really working on healing. So even though my ego knows I can do hand to foot and be balanced and it actually takes more strength and conviction and ability to stay committed to peace coming here. So just sharing, being transparent at the moment. With that breath, you're going to release into the last dancer pose. And then finding that offering that is genuinely yours, that is in tune, not to push through, but to really connect and engage with that dance of the stira and the sukha, the effort and the ease. And then inhale all the way up. Since I did the curtsy too soon, I'll just come back to the sciatic stretch. As much as I really liked the curtsy variation, I'm going to be consistent and humble. Unravel both feet. Inhale, find length. Ground into the earth. Exhale, bow. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow. Whoops, sorry, we'll just go for 3 this time. Inhale, find length. I get into my own practice at this point, in my own space. Lulu's sleeping, they're doing yard work outside, and I forget that I'm guiding you guys. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Feel the journey of your own practice. Of the connection with yourself. Notice the turmoil within, the challenge of the mind or the body. Exhale, free the hands. Inhale the arms overhead. Feel the left, the openness in the heart. And then exhale into the hips all the way down to the earth. Inhale, find length. One last downward dog. All the way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale the knees to the ground. Move all the way back, child's pose. After that third breath, you're going to gaze forward. You're going to walk your hands over to the right, and you're going to lean your hips to the left. 3 breaths here. And then inhale, come back through the center. Walk your hands over to the other side. I'm holding onto my mat just for a little more engagement. And then stretch the hips over in the other direction. Inhale, come all the way back through the center. Rise up onto your hands and knees. Lift all the way up. You're going to stretch your left leg out to the side. So that it's in line with the hip. I'm pretty sure my foot's cutting off, but you want to be in line with the hip, okay? Inhale the right arm up. You're going to lift up and reach over to the left. And then inhale, come back up through the center. I'm heel toeing my left foot. You're going to walk your left foot through the center and lunge forward. So you come into this low lunge, draw into the belly, reach your right hand back. So my left hand's just on my knee, really drawing into the center, reach the right hand back. Then inhale through the center, bring your right elbow all the way over to the outside of the left knee. So we just open the twist up wide. Wrap the outer left hip down, draw into the belly and twist. Hands can stack. I'm actually keeping my thigh bone hand here to help the wrap of my outer hip for more engagement. And then inhale, come back through the center. Hands come to the earth. You can walk your foot out wide. Walk your hands on the diagonal. And bring one elbow down and then the other. You can keep the knee to the ground or lift the knee up off the earth. 3 breaths here. Yes, we are doing this flow 3 times. And then exhale the knee to the earth. You're gonna sit back. Now, as the knee comes down, if it was up, come onto your hands, walk the left foot through the center. You have to cross, you lean back and slide your foot in. Both hips are grounded, hips are square. Inhale, find length, and then fold over that left leg. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Ground into the earth, find the length, inhale all the way up. You're gonna bend both knees, turn that left hip in, and then bow over the right knee. Soften the area in the shoulders, relax the neck and jaw. Exhale out completely, lift into the core. You're gonna inhale, come up, climb forward onto your hands and knees, and then exhale back, child's pose. After those 3 breaths, hands walk over to the left. Draw into the belly, hips lean to the right. Inhale through the center, walk the hands over to the right, hips lean to the left. Inhale, come forward onto your hands and knees. You're gonna lift up, right leg stretches out to the side. You find the alignment. You square off hips and rib cage. Left arm lifts up, reach over to the right. 3 breaths here. Inhale, come through the center, heel, toe. The foot forward, you're gonna lunge forward. Remember, find that low lunge. So adjust your legs, adjust your feet, pull into the midline. Inhale, come up. So right hand stays on the knee. Find the shoulders to the back, and then you twist, if you can. So you're just opening your left hand. It's a really open twist here. This hip doesn't go back with you though, okay? This is still wrapping forward as your chest opens up back. Inhale, come back. Elbow to the knee, hand to the thigh, and then twist. Right? You can stack your hands, but like I said, I'm really working hard and getting into the areas that I'm healing, that I'm aware of. And hopefully your home practice makes you more aware of what you need and that you can articulate those needs more fully. Inhale, come back through the center. Hands come to the earth. Heel, toe, that right foot wider. I even walked my left foot further back. And then you're gonna slowly come down. Yes, I'm using a bolster. And then if you choose, back thigh lifts. For 3 breaths. The knees lifted, lower it down. You're gonna inhale, come up. That foot slides behind you, and you sit all the way back. okay? Knee opens up, find both hips, find length, and exhale, bow. 3 breaths here. Making peace. That's why we're working with hip openers and forward bends to end our practice. Now that we know the flow, we can engage with it in a way that we can still care for ourselves. And a lot of this making peace is letting go of our ego, right? And that it's supposed to be all these things. All those things are there to guide us. So you're gonna bend your right leg, find length, and then fold over that left knee. Inhale, gaze forward. Walk your hands forward. Come up onto your hands and knees. Exhale, bow. Child's pose. We're not going to do the flow 3 times, okay? Actually, we will. We're just going to move a little more swiftly, okay? Inhale, rise. Over to the right, hip stretch to the left. Big, full breath in. Big, full breath out. Inhale through the center, hands to the left, hips to the right, 3 breaths. Inhale back through the center, up onto your hands and knees. Left foot stretches out. Inhale, come standing, reach to the left. Inhale, come back up. Foot comes forward. Find that lunge. So you gotta adjust your legs. Lift up. Open the right arm back. 3 breaths here. Remember, right hip's not moving. Inhale, come back through. Right elbow across the left knee. 3 breaths here. Inhale, come back through the center. Adjust your stance, right? So that's part of the resolve, is that we have to be able to move our feet. We can have happy feet, right? Back knee high or low, 3 breaths here. Knee comes to the earth. You're gonna shift back, foot crosses through, and that's a fancy transition. You do the transition that supports you. Find both hips. So find the length. You're gonna find your ribs torque and the directions of your knees. So you feel a little lift. There's a little baby twist here. Hand can go over the foot, gecko arms, or side of the foot. Inhale all the way up. Left knee bends, find length, pull into the waistline, bow over the right knee. So notice in our flow today, right? We did the heart openers in the beginning, really close to the earth. We did standing hip openers. We did standing balancing poses, and now we're in a seated forward bend twist flow. So we feel these kind of different expressions of our being. Exhale out completely. Inhale, come up onto your hands and knees and move back. Child's pose. If you didn't know, this has been a practice deep in the psoas, drawn to the belly. Hands move to the left, hips move to the right, 3 breaths. Be with your breath, hands go to the right, hips go to the left, 3 breaths. Inhale back to the center, rise up. Standing on your knees. Right leg stretches out, lift up, reaching over. Inhale, coming up. Right foot comes to the center. Lunge forward, adjust. Draw in, so you're pushing down, engaging the core. Left arm reaches back, 3 breaths. Right, this is still moving forward as the arm's going back. Inhale, come through, elbow to the thigh. Drawing into the core, shoulders into the back. Inhale, come through the center, hands to the earth. Oops, look what I left out, pose I don't like to do. Walk the right foot out wider. This is a long flow too. Elbows to the thighs, draw in, back leg lifts. 3 breaths, or the knee stays down. Knee comes to the earth, hips slide back. So gonna run out of time. Find the length and then bow. Inhale all the way up. Feet sweep to the right. Find length and bow over the left knee. Soften and breathe. Exhale, ground into the earth. Inhale, come all the way up. We're going to switch it this time because of time, right? So that's part of the making peace. You're at home. If you have the time and the space to go one more round, go for it. But it was a long flow, so I feel good about it. You're going to come all the way seated. I just took my bolster and put it under my knees. If you have blankets, pillows, blocks, you can do that. We're going to draw into the belly. Waistline draws back. Fold over so that you can flex the feet. My arms and legs are really long, so I can wrap my hands over my feet. Some of us might still be here, okay? But with the idea is with the bent knees, the thigh bones can sit more deeper into the hip socket. You can feel more of an internal rotation. You can fill up more into the back body, okay? That's really what we're going for. Now that we're here, I want you to think of that void of course, mood, where you're transitioning, okay? Where the communication between your beings is shifting. When we're in that kind of dark space, although we know what this space is because we've done yoga enough. 5 breaths here. Exhale out completely, find length, inhale, come up. So you're not making anything happen right now. Bring your hips forward. You're gonna lie all the way back. Head to the ground, just hairstyles. Relax into the earth. Feel into your breath. Feel into the earth. Feel into the dialogue of your own body. Let go of the judgment and just feel into is there harmony? Is there connection? First and foremost, just celebrate that you're leaning in and choosing to connect, and then let go of the result of the connection. Can you notice if you're more settled or centered than when you began? Can you be more in a reflective and introspective space here? So I'm going to stop talking in a moment, where you can just be with the peace that's present, even if it still hasn't revealed itself to you. Enjoy a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And through the enjoyment of the breath, delight in whatever level of calm or peace surfaced. Begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers, and notice how what you're doing is you're bringing forward this connection to your inner world. You're bringing it to the surface. It's going to engage in your relationships for the rest of your day or evening. You're going to bend both knees and roll. Let's do this. Bring the knees into your chest. A little bitty hug. And then roll to one side. And come up into a seat. And sit in that wellness, right? We say sit well, but sit with the wellness that you chose. Even if you're just here for physical reasons, if you're just here for soulful reasons, if you're just here for mental reasons, whatever it is, sit in that wellness that showing up for yourself has brought forward, because you're really showing up for one another. Hands come together in Anjali Mudra, palms come together. Notice how soft and receptive the hands are. And even make peace with the fact that maybe this is the hardest part. The hardest part is being who you are, just as you are. And so I thank you. Namaste. And if we can practice here in this way, we'll make it another day. I mean, this little rhymey notion has showed up for me. But if we can practice in this way and show up, it's not so much that that piece will perfect itself, but what we do is we bring this energy, even if it's just hanging out with our grass and the squirrels and the deer or our dog. But we're hanging out with dear ones because we're hanging out with ourselves. So be real, be true, be soulfully you. Thank you to those of you who are contributing to the Yoga Soul Flow. I have deep gratitude. And Thursday, September 30th, I will be in Momland. So I'm going to show up Friday for yoga, and then the energetic signature will be posted Friday as well. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you.